Right. Hello and welcome. First of all, let me apologize for the heating conditions in this seminar theater. Feel free to keep your coats on. I'm freezing. I couldn't wear here my coat, so I'm trying to make it as entertaining as possible to get some heat going. Let me introduce myself. My name is Daniel Harari. I'm Vice President Client Services and co-founder of a company called emarsys, and I'll be talking about how to use big data to improve customer lifecycle communication and increase the value. Now, on the flight here, a little story. Last night when I came into London, I flew British Airways, and they have this in-flight magazine. So, you know, I'm done reading my own Kindles and everything working. So it's like, oh, you know what? Let's have a look at this in-flight magazine. So I'm browsing through the in-flight magazine, and boom, what do I see? Big data. An article about big data. And if it gets into the BA in-flight magazine, that means that something is about big data that's very popular, and it's a buzzword. Everybody's using it. Very few people actually have any idea what big data means, except for big and data together means lots of data. But what does it actually mean? How can we make use of that and employ that to achieve our goals in our company? Now, a question to the audience. Who here has an online shop or does online purchase, online bookings, etc.? Please, hands up. Okay, so it's roughly half the audience. I'm just for the information for the other half is my presentation uses a lot of e-commerce examples. However, you can adapt these examples and the principles to basically any business that has to deal with customers. The same principles apply to any other business. Good. Let's get started. A little bit about emarsys, who we are. We've been around since 2000. We are in quite a few offices in the world. We send over 50 billion marketing messages on behalf of more than 1,000 clients every year. And yeah, a few other things that you can read on that slide. These are some of the clients that we serve. You may recognize some of them. But let's get straight on into the topic of what we want to talk about today. First of all, what is bugging e-commerce or retailers or people, companies doing business with clients today? One of the major issues is this. Whether it's SEO, SEM, PPC, banner ads, companies spend a lot of money to get people to come to their website. A lot of money. The problem is that afterwards, once they've been able to convert, the lifetime value is very low. The types of money that you get back from this customer versus an initial spending is very low. On average, for an industry average in e-commerce, you get a 2% conversion rates. So you invest all of that money, and 2% of the people who come to your website will end up as customers. Now some say, well, it's not so bad. 2% is better than 1%, better than 0.5%, better than 0.1%. And my competitor's only doing 0.5, I do 1.8. It's fantastic. But what you're forgetting is you have 98% non-buyers. Those people reacted to some kind of investment you did in marketing to get them to the website, and then 98% of them don't add up as clients, don't give you a return on that marketing investment. So that's, by itself, it's bad enough. However, of those 2%, on average, there's only 20% repeat buyers. That means, if you can do simple calculus, first grade, you have 80% one-time buyers. Now that's both a huge problem and a very underused resource and potential. If you're increasing and engaging with your customers along that customer life cycle, you can increase that value, get more of those 98% people to become first-time buyers, get more people to not just be one-time buyers, but become repeat buyers. That is the goal. That's what all of us should want to achieve. Because on average, if you do lifecycle communication, you get 9 times more response than on your average batch and blast weekly newsletters, deal of the day, monthly newsletters, weekly offer, whatever you're sending out to your current customers right now. Before we get to more how big data can help, first of all, we have to ask ourselves, who is my better customer? So I got 2 customers. Right now I'm looking at them. They so far spent £3,300 with me. Now, who thinks customer X is the better customer? Hands up. Nobody. Who thinks customer Y is the better customer? Hands up. Who thinks that with this information, they're both equal? Hands up. All right. So far, so good. Now, let's compare more data. If you can't see it, I say here comparing purchasing history using recency, frequency, monetary method. I'm looking at when did people purchase and how much did they spend. So customer X started in January of last year with £1,500 and gradually decreased the spending to this January with only £100 last January spent. Customer Y started the previous January with £100 and slowly ramped up the spending to up to £1,500 this very recent January. Now, who's for customer X as a better customer? Who's for customer Y as a better customer? That example alone shows that we need more data, more information to qualify our customers, to segment them, and to decide how we engage with them across the customer lifecycle. One of them is churning, spending less and less and less and less. At some point, that customer might stop spending. The other customer is spending more and more and more and more. Now, obviously, logically, we shouldn't treat them equally. We should engage with them according to how they are right now, given that information that we have about them. A churning customer needs to be treated differently as one who's spending lots and lots more, who keeps to be entertained, maintained. So how do we use big data to maximize our messaging return on investment? By the way, can anybody hear me in the back? Okay? Hands up? Fine. There's all of that clutter noise around, so I don't hear myself very well. First of all, 66% of all B2C customers have as their number one challenge targeting recipients with highly relevant content. Big data can help that by collecting, storing, and analyzing the rising data volumes. We're not talking about gigabytes of data volumes anymore that we did maybe a few years ago. We're talking terabytes, petabytes, zettabytes, quintuple-bytes, gazillion, whatever these other byte sizes are called. All of that, all these different sources of data that we have, it's not just normally the CRM system that has our customer data. We have data everywhere, and all of that needs to be combined, collected, stored, and analyzed to help us give us one picture of the customer to decide what we're going to do. The second thing is not just collecting and storing that information, but is converting that information into data into something that we can actually use. Just great having zeros and ones and all this data, but what am I doing with it? I'm no statistician, I'm a marketer. I'm no I don't know, business behavioral analyst or client psychologist or something that will know, how to fit these types of segmentations together. No, I'm a marketer. I need to have that information, that data, to be converted into something that I as a marketer can use to make decisions. And decisions is, how do I use this data to engage with my customers along the customer lifecycle? So, you have here in the middle that big data database where all that data goes together. And you have all these different sources. You may have more sources. These are some examples. You might have e-commerce data. You have supplier data. You have inventory. You got your products database, your website forms on the website where people sign up. You got your CRM data. Lots of other data sources. Your social data. All of that has to be collected in one spot and analyzed in order to turn this data into something we like to call actionable intelligence. Actionable intelligence means not just intelligence. Ooh, I see pretty graphs with pretty segmentations. But these information needs to tell me what am I supposed to do next. So great that I know that these segments are available and these correlate with that segment, but what next? What do I do with that? That's the difference between intelligence and analytics and actionable intelligence. The step one is analyzing the status quo, is that you know your metrics, you get all that stuff together, you have to know everything. Your order amounts, your number of visitors on your website, return on investment, average basket value, your entry pages, where do people get into your website, what are the favorite keywords that they're using, what are the basket dropout rates, your conversions, your subscriber rates, all of that needs to be analyzed to be able to have the second step, start with segmentation. The segmentation can be, a very simple segmentation according to buyer types. Buyer types can be, the largest group of you people could be the I love salespeople. People who only buy products if they're marked down from their original price. There can be a higher level of customers, those people that can afford more products, but generally tend to only buy one type of brand. And then it's the top end of the pyramid of the food chain, which is, for them, money is not an issue. They will always buy the latest products, the newest products, the most expensive products. But then you can go one step ahead, which is the RFM model. RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. It's a three-dimensional analysis cube that decides when was the last order, how much did he purchase, and how often does he buy. And then you can create those, give those numbers, scores. Let's say, for example, here the frequency score is from 1 to 5. 1 is 1 order. 5 is over 10 orders. The recency score is 1 to 5. 1 is over 365 days, the last purchase. And 5 is within the last 30 days. So if you combine the highest score just on this two-dimensional part would be 10, would be purchased more than 10 times in the last 30 days. If I had the third dimension, the monetary score, 1 to 5, with 5 being over 1,000 euros or pounds spent, then I got people who spend that amount of money in 10 orders in the last 30 days. These are my top clients. I can add a fourth dimension to that. That would make the normal RFM into something that we like to call the engagement RFM. Engagement RFM or ERFM takes it one step ahead. Now you might have two customers, again, who purchased the same amount of money in the last 30 days with the same amount of orders, male, over 25, living in London. On paper, they look exactly the same. Does that mean I need to communicate with them the same way? Some people say yes, some people not, some people say no. Let's assume one person never interacts with anything that I send him in terms of a marketing message. He's never opened or clicked on any of my emails, never responded to any of my mobile campaigns. He's not active on Facebook, he's not following me on Twitter, anything. But he still has the same amount of orders. He just goes onto my website and buys the products there. The other person only buys as an engagement, as an aftermath, because there was some engagement before. We send him an offer by email, he clicks, he responds, goes to website and buys. Totally different. That's why you need that fourth dimension, that engagement level, to add to the RFM to get that complete picture to understand how to interact with the customers and what kind of messages to send them. Just doing it simply on a two-dimensional level, having the recency and the frequency score. So if I don't want to make it too complicated and have every single cluster here a different category, I can say, everybody who's purchased at least once in the last 30 days is for me a recent buyer. I group them together. Everybody who has purchased less than 365 days ago is for me inactive, and anything in between. Once you've done that, you go to the next step, which means handling promotions for the segments and clusters that you've built using RFM. So, here, for the ones who've had more than 3 purchases in the last 30 days, I'm not going to think about any kind of promotion, special promotions. I'm just going to send them the newest products that I have because they're buying anyways. There's no need to give them any discount, free shipping. If you buy again, come back again, nothing like that. On the other end of the spectrum, those who had 1 purchase or less over 1 year ago, I might just continue them deactivated and not continue communication with them. The others might not engage with me over this channel. I might try postal mail, any other channel, reaching out via call center or something like that. And then is understanding the sweet spot. Where do you want to go in your customer lifecycle curve with your customers? And then step 4 is automating the messages. Thinking about what kind of messages do I need to do is I have the prospect in the beginning. Those people that I've attracted through my SEO, my PPC, my SEM to my website, or any kind of other marketing activity that I'm doing. I've attracted them to my website. That's a prospect. I need to capture them and convert them to a first-time customer. What kind of programs, marketing programs, do I have running to make that happen? I'm not going to go every day or every month into my analysis and look, okay, let's do a manual campaign for all the ones that came to the website but didn't, signed up but didn't convert. That stuff needs to be automated. It needs to happen, set up once and run in the background. So registering information, first order, pushing the first order, getting them from a first-time customer, how do I get them to the second-time customer and becoming a repeat customer? How do I keep my repeat customer, grow them even more, up the revenue axis, and elongate the time axis for this one and for the premium customers? And it happens, people might become inactive, might start churning. What do I do with those customers? How do I reactivate them? What kind of programs do I have in place to make sure that those people come back and become an active repeat purchaser or premium customer again? So now for some real-life examples. First, getting people to sign up, getting more of those 98% that don't convert, more to conversion to become first-time customers. First of all, this is what a normal e-commerce website looks like. It's cluttered with lots of offers, and every single offer here is, rivaling the other content for attention. Now what they do is, people want to come to the website and buy anyways. They will do that. They find the products and go. But for those 98% who don't convert, I need to capture them to at least start a communication along the life cycle. And they do that by putting things out of the box. This thing draws your eye, these things, because they're out of the normal box of the news of the website layout. Ooh, a free download. Ooh, a free presentation package. That draws my eye. I go there, and then is to make sure that there you convert on that landing page, making it easy for people to sign up. Don't make it complicated. Don't ask too much information. An email is all you need to start the communication with that person at this stage of the life cycle. Making sure that all the other mental hurdles, like why should I give my email address? Why should I sign up for that? Make it easy and clear to understand what are the benefits for you to sign up. And again, just email, that's all you need. So people have captured that. One day after sign up, they get a welcome message automatically with just for first time sign up people with an exclusive product package only for first timers and a voucher that they can use to buy that package or any other product. They have 9.8% conversions. Now that's a lot more from those 98% non-buyers shifting to become first-time customers. So that's capturing people, capturing prospects, and converting them to first-time buyers. The second thing is that the mental hurdle of a second purchase is not to be underestimated. As we see, 20% are only repeat buyers. 80% are one-time buyers. There's a huge mental hurdle to going there for a second buy or a third buy. That needs to be cleared. That needs to be addressed in your lifecycle communication. And it's a burden of profitability and an underused resource. But use all that information that you have from the first purchase to decide what the message should be on that second email or the second communication that you sent out in order to go for a second purchase. Here's an easy one. First-time buyers get 14 days after the purchase, the first purchase, to get an email with a survey. Just first-time buyers. So thank you for giving us your trust and buying with us. As a first-time buyer, we'd like to hear your feedback. Please rate the products and the online shop. And as a thank you, you get another voucher towards your next purchase. 14.1% conversions. 14.1% of all first-time buyers are being converted to buy a second time. That's a lot more from those 80% of one-time buyers shifted to that repeat buyer. Now, it's about the exclusivity of repeat purchases. Those people pay money on a repeat basis. You need to make sure that they stay with you. And they need to be made felt special. I'm different. I'm spending every month, I'm going to your shop and I'm buying products. I feel that I should be treated differently than a person who's only spent like once or twice with you. I've been purchasing for the last 3 years. Every month, I should be treated differently. Unfortunately, this example is in German, but it's a very good example. It's Thomas Sabo. If you go to the airport, you see their shops also on the high street. They do jewelry and accessories and charms and stuff like that. They have in Germany, one of the biggest sellers is a charity charm that they promote together with a local TV station. The moment it goes to their website and is online for purchasing on the website, it's sold out within a day. It's hugely popular. Existing clients who have a certain RFM score, that means they've been with the company, they purchased a certain amount of time, they get an exclusive offer to pre-order that before it goes online for all the general public. 47% conversions. But they made, in the text here, they made to be felt exclusive. Because you're a cherished customer, you're a loyal customer, you get these kind of special offers. You have other companies like buy exclusively the new spring collection before it goes online, available for the general public. Any kind of new collection, new products, buy it exclusively before it goes online. All these things resonate with existing customers and drive their loyalty, make them feel special. But then you have those VIP premium customers, the one who are really, really special, spend the most amount of money with you. Those need to get that extra special treatment. Jades 24 is a young brand, they have like nice clothing, hip clothing. They got really big because all of a sudden some Hollywood starlets started wearing their jeans, and there was pictures of that, and now they're retailing, I think, like 300, 400, 500, 600 pounds a pair of jeans. I'm not buying those jeans anyway. But so Evie Hammerström, she's Swedish but lives, I think, in Germany. She's the founder of that company, and she, in her name, obviously the marketing department prepares that for her. She has her like seasonal tips that she and her picks of the items in the store that she sends out to the most loyal customer in her name. It's her exclusive recommendations. And the criteria is at least one purchase in the offline store, in addition to the amount of revenue they spent in the last year overall. It's not enough for them in this case to say anybody who spent over that amount of money in the online store. They want that connection to the brand. When you go to the store and feel the brand, apparently their stores are, super crazy or something like this, and they want that interaction with a customer in the store. Only those people get EV's recommendation. They have on average 7% conversion with an average basket value of the higher upper 3 digits. Now, you may not believe it, but it happens. Customers will churn. They might become inactive, and it's your job to win them back. Also, another example from Jace24 is an automated trigger mail for anybody who hasn't purchased more than 180 days. Now, for them, that's an inactive or churning customer. For you and your business, it might be different. It might be somebody who hasn't purchased in 2 years. If you're a car dealer, it might be longer. Somebody who hasn't, repurchased a car or ordered a new model in, like, say, 5 or 6 years. But the principle is the same. You have to analyze what for you is a churning customer and then send them a reactivation message. Please come back. We miss you. Try to entice them to come back. In this case, the value of the voucher to come back and buy again is dependent on the RFM score. So somebody was a premium customer before gets a higher voucher, and somebody who's been just average gets sort of an average amount for the voucher. 12% conversions. 12% of all inactives are being reactivated to become active clients again. And that thing runs constantly also in the background. So before we go to the end and Q&A, a short summary. It's important to analyze and understand your metrics, to segment your client based on the insights that you gain from those metrics, define the promotions for each of those client segments, create and then automate the campaigns for the relevant promotions for the relevant client segments along the customer life cycle. And it's important to say that customers are very hard to get, but it's even harder to keep them, and that you have to put every effort in there to make them stay with you and grow and spend more money.